So I joined Ubisoft Montreal in 2005 and actually joined the AC1 team in 2006. Some days I'm just telling myself, really all that long at UB and on AC, but the day after I just say, yeah, and I want to keep going. Well, first, when I joined Ubisoft, I was not on AC during the first year, and I was seeing that project, on the back, and I was just wondering, wow, that looks cool. It sounds really, really promising, and I was just in envy. I was considering it to be something quite special. And when I actually had the chance to join the team, I just realized the potential of it, and that it was really something big. And I really felt that it was bigger than what the team itself was realizing. It was more than the sum of its parts,
And then you moved on to be a creative director for Assassin's Creed 4.
Yes, and so this was an incredible step for me. I was the first one asked, to think about the concept of what would be a pirate game in AC, because that was my job back in the days, to actually set the direction for every other creation, just to make sure that everything remained aligned within our universe. Black Flag was actually quite a good experience. We are really proud and satisfied with the results of it. And so now I'm back more at a brand level as a creative director this time for the franchise, to make sure that we actually continue to carry on the franchise without diluting it, and making sure everybody understands where we are aiming at. From a next-gen experience, Unity has nothing to compare with Black Flag. We always said it, Black Flag was a true next-gen title in a graphic sense, mostly, but it was also really, looking really good on old-gen now, so we can say old-gen. Well, I think that for Unity, the message also, which is important, it's a kind of a new start. It's the first true next-gen developed game. So for this time, Unity was also, the idea is to send this message that this is a kind of a new beginning, and so it fully deserved this shift maybe into the naming convention.
Could you ever foresee a time where you go back to numbers?
Honestly, for the moment, we were not discussing that. It could be. That's also something that we try to remain always flexible. I think one big strength and one big quality of the franchise is to be able to deliver always, but at the same time remain flexible and adapt, so we can adapt ourselves enough, considering the situation. So why not? There's no. Personally, I don't like dogmas. Sure. To be stuck, into something that who knows what the future will bring.
What will define the next generation of Assassin's Creed games?
This is an interesting question. I think that we want to really embrace the capacities of the console, in the sense that, a lot of things have changed since last generation of console, and mainly the online and the connected aspect. And so we want to make AC an even more connected game and franchise. And so we've made the franchise evolve from a very single player experience, offline, that was AC1, to a universe that now will allow players to be really part of it and to be connected with it every single day of the year, basically. And so this should be reflected within the game to come.
So, can you read in between the lines and say, once you've introduced co-op to the Assassin's Creed series, it's tough to remove it in the future?
Well, we never know. At first, we will see, what the reception of it will be, obviously. But there are some other capacities, also abilities or functionalities that we can explore. So we're bringing co-op with Unity. We are also investigating on some other fields. So we're trying, like I said, we're trying to make sure we dig into every single potential that this universe has for us.
Managing such a gigantic brand like Assassin's Creed, you must have learned a lot of lessons from the way Marvel and DC have been handling things throughout the years, right? It's something, yeah, we are looking at them, wondering sometimes how they do actually manage all this. The thing is, there is a difference. I think that we're trying to create the first real-time transmedia universe, with our present now being the real present, and the persistent present. So now it becomes even something else. It's not just agglomerating tons of stories that make sense, but also
engraving that, grounding that within our reality. And so it brings another dimension.
So what can you do with that framework compared to the comic book world that they can't do? Because sometimes they tie in current events and stuff like that in storylines.
Yeah, but the thing is now that we really want to try to bring the user within our universe in their day-to-day life. So this is something that being, with the mobiles and connected, etc., that we know we have the ability to actually not tie the stories within the present, but actually put the gamers within our universe if they want to engage even more or participate. And so this is something that we want to bring. There is no character, you're yourself. We know that a lot of fans really like this whole meta story, and global universe that the games are actually only snippets from, but some others don't care that much about it. So we always want to bring basically the best possible experience for the players, and if possible also personalizing it. So if you care, basically we have it for you because it's valid, the structure allows it, and we have things to tell. And if you're not into that, where we try to be too intrusive. Well, it will remain. I mean, Abstergo Entertainment is part now of our universe, and so you will see it with Unity also, but not the same way. Actually, that's my point. It will evolve. That's like anything else. We bring things, and then depending on the context, if it has purpose, if it makes sense, then why not using it? I think that I was actually quite pleased by the overall reception. Obviously, you always have the people who don't care, who are not receptive for that, but the ones who are got it, in the sense that they got the message. It was for them. It was also a self-humor, about ourselves sometimes. And so, no, I'm happy about the reception. We try things. That's something we're really committed to. It's always to not just say, we have the recipe and then let's sleep onto it, So what can we do every time? What can we bring to the player that makes sense, that is fun, that also brings us some opportunities to use? We didn't know exactly at that time where it could aim for, but then it worked quite well, and so it's like any narrative seeds that we put in our game, for example. Some of them we know already what we want to do later on with them. Some we'll see how it reacts, etc. And so this is why the adaptation, capacity is so important.
What do you see as the biggest threat to the AC brand moving into the future?
The biggest threat?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's big in the sense that, for example, keeping the narrative consistency is something important. We also, it's a new generation, so there are very few big franchise, big brands, that have managed to switch from one generation to the other. So this is definitely something that we are really conscious and that we want to deal well with, But in terms of threat, I don't see that many, in the sense that every year is a threat for us. I mean, we need to deliver a good game, and so this is always, we've been always under pressure, and on that sense. So we never considered that, okay, job done, solid franchise, and now everything is just business as usual. Like I was saying, it's always about being flexible, reactive, and ready to, but at the same time, bringing some new, well-thought elements. So,
how far ahead is your roadmap for the AC series? Do you have it pretty well mapped out for the next 5 years?
I don't know up to where I can go in details, but it goes beyond 1 year for sure. Obviously, I can't tell you exactly what's the roadmap we have, but we are a team dedicated to make sure that the franchise keep going on, and without losing its soul. So we have plans ahead, yes.